you high enough?
Mr. Jack.
Hello.
Welcome to the Monky London channel.
Thank you.
Now you brought something pretty special down to us.
Something like that. Biggest financial mistake I ever made.
Don't say that. Now, am I right in saying this car is 5 years in the making?
Yeah, it's taken me 5 years so far to get to this point, so...
I can sort of see why.
Yeah, it's taken a little while, just doing what I can afford to do. You know, it's not been money and object building out, just done what I can afford
security,
to do.
you're trespassing, you're being monitored and recorded on live CCTV. Leave this site immediately.
Welcome back to my channel.
Hello again.
So yeah, let's run through the basics. Obviously, it's a BMW E30.
Yep.
And what year?
92.
92. And what form was the car originally when you got it?
As a bare shell.
Literally.
Complete bare shell, different colour, no engine, no wiring, nothing at all, just a rolling shell. I bought it as a rolling shell because it's the most honest thing to buy. You can see if there's any like problems with the bodywork, rust and stuff, and these are quite bad for rust, but best thing to do is buy as a shell and start clean slate and just start from there, really.
And what 3 Series was this to start with?
It originally was a 318, but then obviously we'd done the swap over because I had an E30 before, and we swapped all of the bits over, done all the bits we've done here. A few bits we had to start from scratch, like new interior, rebuild the engine sort of thing. The engine is a M20, which is a 2.5 originally. Done the Alpina conversion to make it a 2.7. It's got a bit of a fancy head on it, all like skimmed to within an inch of its life.
Like all ported and polished?
Yeah, pretty much all ported and polished, all like titanium valves, valve springs, all that stuff. Big cam, and then the party piece, the gold trumpets.
Absolutely
45mm RHD ITBs, and does make some good noises. Makes a lot of good noises.
100%.
Stay compression ratio. They skimmed it obviously to put the compression up and that, use all like ARP hardware for the internals like race bearings and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like fully balanced crank and lightened crank as well.
And roughly what sort of horsepower is it at the moment, Jack?
It put out back in August on the dyno at 207 horsepower at 7 grand, which 7 grand is relatively high for one of these engines. They're quite a lazy revving engine anyway.
Yeah.
The mapper told me stop being a girl and rev it higher, but because he says the engine, he reckons it's rated, it can go to 8 to 8,500 RPM, but on stock internals, realistically, it's just it's a proper gamble. So I mean, 7,000 RPM I think is pretty good for what this is like. It zips around the rev range now because of the light and flywheel and the way it's been mapped up and stuff. So
and who mapped it?
Emerald,
and you're running it obviously Emerald ECU.
Emerald K6 standalone.
Just run through a couple of the other bits in the engine bay for me. We've got a Mishimoto radiator.
Yeah, Mishimoto's is that E36 M3 Mishimoto radiator. With their 15-inch electric fan on the other side, so it forces it rather than drags it through. Get rid of the viscous fan because it just saps power off the engine. It's quite an ugly unit. Got the 7.9 Racing cooling expansion tank. It's just a nicer looking piece rather than the plastic one. Mocool 16-row oil cooler that's mounted up the front behind the kidney grills.
What about the exhaust system on this, Jack?
It's a bit of a sort of a homemade special really, because it's a bit of a mix match sort of stuff, but it just does the trick. So we've got Raceland 6-branch, like 6 to 2 to 1 manifolds. Stainless manifolds. It's got a Mongoose centre section, and then it's got a rear box delete on the back, all stainless all the way through.
What about the drivetrain, like the clutch and the gearbox?
Gearbox is stock, clutch is stock at the moment. It's got a lightweight flywheel in it. It's got an AGK short shift, like a billet short shift with a linkage. 373 LSD, which if you have any BMW you have to upgrade and put an LSD. It just changes the car, the way it drives.
Open diff life's horrible.
It's not nice. Brakes are Willwood, 4 pots on the front. Standard size on the back, just with EBC pads and discs and stuff. Hell brake lines, like Brady brake lines, and that just give better pedal feel. Powerflex bushes all the way through, including secondary diff mount, which we've fitted with this, all Powerflex as well. Coilovers are nothing special, they're just entry-level stuff for the time being, until I sort of work out what I want to do, either go KW or Bilstein or something like that.
Next on the list is these beautiful looking BBSs.
Yep. So BBS RS style wheels with the BBS turbofan front cover. I've always loved these wheels. They've always been a sort of a bucket list thing. You don't really see them on road cars and that because they weren't really designed for road cars, but I just love
them. Suit the car, don't they?
Yeah, and the cool thing is with them you could just pop them off. They're basically glorified hubcaps in a way, but
they look pretty sick for hubcaps, man.
Yeah, they're really cool. I love them.
And then what's the dimensions on the wheels?
7.5 front, 8.5 rear.
Okay.
So nothing too dramatic.
And tyre sizes?
205/40 on the front, 215/40 on the rear.
Okay. Just run me through the bodywork, Jack. Obviously the car is super clean.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It needs a little bit of sprucing up, but it is what it is. So we've got a genuine MTEC 2 body kit, Garagistics front chin splitter, which is like a E30 M3 style splitter, Zender rear spoiler, DTM carbon fibre mirrors, which you can't see out of.
But they look sick.
They look cool, yeah. One little bit I'm quite happy with is these genuine BMW Motorsport door handles, which is quite a cool little trinket.
Oh yeah, man.
All the goodies. Full red rear lights in the back with the American style Hella heck blend number plate insert.
Next up, I think we should look at the interior, because as much as the rest of the car is absolutely amazing, the interior is also pretty special as well.
It's not bad.
I'm not touching that rear seat though. So this is a factory original E30 M3 rear bench seat.
Yeah, M3 rear bench seat with the M3 parcel shelf with the rear blinds and the premium speakers in the back.
In the front, Jack, we've got these really lovely leather Recaro seats.
Yeah, the Recaro SR3s, which is like a period style Recaro seat. You got them on M3s, Delta Integrales, first gen Civic Type R's, just all in different trim specs.
I recognise the look now.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people do recognise that style.
Originally in the E30, they came with quite sort of thin spoked wheels, didn't they? But you've obviously had that all retrimmed.
Yeah, this one is an M3 Sport Evo wheel when I brought it, completely destroyed. But got it retrimmed in the Alcantara. Basically put it back to original spec where it was Alcantara from the factory.
A lot of attention to detail on this car.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Just doing what I can so far. It's, you know, project cars, they're all ongoing, but so far I feel quite happy with how the interior is at the time being.
Yeah, definitely, man. And the carpets and all the mats seem in all very good condition as well.
Yeah, well, the carpet was the original car from my old car. It was just cleaned up and then I dyed the whole carpet sort of thing.
This is Jack's Instagram down here.
Do a follow.
So yeah, if you guys give him a cheeky little follow, he'd really appreciate it. Right, should we take it out for a little drive?
Let's do it.
I know what you mean with the shifter. It's like it's very sort of tight, isn't it? Very direct, but after you've driven it for a couple of minutes, you do get used to it. Power levels now, obviously just over 200 horsepower. You think you're going to keep it around that sort of level? Obviously, like you said before, it costs a huge amount of money to actually go any more than that.
Yeah, I'd like to, but because there's so many other bits and pieces elsewhere on the car I want to do, I think I'm going to focus on them first and then maybe the engine last.
Yeah,
as I said, the problem is with going any further step is engine out and engine rebuild for
It's a huge amount of work.
Yes, because the only way forward is to fully forge the engine or do a forced induction setup, which kind of is not really what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'd like to stick NA. I've always been a fan of NA
I
engines.
think you personally should, man. It kind of makes it a bit more original, if anything.
Yeah, it's also I like the drivability of it, and it's just the sound as well.
Oh, mate, it sounds nuts. Hopefully you guys can hear us, because the sound inside this cockpit is pretty intoxicating. Oh man, that induction noise is incredible.
I love the noise. You don't need a million
Massive amounts of power. But it's not slow at all. It's not a slow car. You can feel it. It's very responsive, very crisp. But you just don't need 700 horsepower to have fun in a car.
Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have 700, but this is so. It's just the noise and the way that the car feels. It's a very mechanical.
Yeah.
Feel if that makes sense. I just love the car. Me even just as a passenger here, I'm getting a lot of enjoyment just out of somebody else driving the car.
At least you're not shitting yourself.
Oh no, not yet. That might come later.
Well, yeah, we can't go too mad because this is obviously Jack's absolute pride and joy, but I'm sure we can let her open up a little bit.
Let her breathe. Reason why you do an ITB setup is just for that response, the sound, and you get a little bit of a power boost. Nothing massive, but most of the time it's just response and sound.
Yeah, and that proper sort of raspiness.
Exactly.
It almost sort of harks back to like the A86s, you know, with the 4AGEs, because they always just have a lot of like carbs on them, and it's that same sort of iconic sound. Isn't it?
They got that distinctive bark noise from like a heavily carburetted or throttle body car.
It's so rewarding. I mean, I don't own the car, but it's just so special just driving it for me. I love it, man.
I'm glad you like it, mate.
Yeah. I loved it, man. You planning on going to many shows in it?
I'd like to. It's just I need to just sort out all the teething problems and a few little hiccups with the car. I do want to go. I've had a lot of people ask me to come to shows, which has really been humbling and really nice, which gives you a bit of motivation.
Yeah.
I'd like to go do shows. One thing I want to do is a track day.
Yeah.
I haven't done a track day for 6 years in an E30 yet, and I feel like it's time to do it again.
Yeah, man. Jack's actually got a special button down here. What's it for?
It's basically the 3 maps. So Emerald basically put 3-stage maps on it for throttle mapping, basically. So you got track mode, eco mode, and what I like to call bang bang mode. So it gives you all the flames, all the bangs.
Can we go bang bang mode, please?
We can do.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh my god. Asbo mode initiated. Can't explain it. I hope the noise is emulated properly on the cameras, but yeah, there really is no better noise than this beautiful 6-cylinder sound. never gets boring, man. Jack's probably like, get this crazy guy out my car, man. No, we actually been pretty sensible today, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
She's an old girl, man, and like we don't want to go mad. I want you to drive it home, so.
Yep.
As always, massive thanks to Jack for bringing the car down. I really appreciate it, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you soon.